I listened to Jeremy Johnson when he was sentencing Ekweremadu in UK. Go and look at the flawless English that came out from that man. Go and look at the way the judicial pronouncement was made. That was why Ekweremadu could not even go for appeal. Because the thing was flawless. Flawless. But here now, look at what we are seeing. Please, somebody should wake me, Oputa. Justice Oputa, you should wake up. Kayode, you should wake up and see what they are doing with your judiciary. Come and wake up and save us from this mess. Because I don't know what these people are doing. Seriously. These people, they have messed up everything. Please wake up wherever you are and come and challenge these people for me.
Barrister, all these people that you are calling, where were they when we had...
They left a good legacy. They left it.
Hold on. Where were they when we had a 2/3 of 19 in 1970?
That one is... If you compare with what is going on now, look, that one was just a child's play. Okay. If you compare with what you are seeing today, Mr. Okoro, please, those days we are better than now.
The foreign affairs minister came up and said, look, these guys are still in Burkina Faso. So how much of a confidence do the Nigerian national security have to explain to Nigerians?
Look, later they will tell you that you are demarcating Nigeria, you are not patriotic, but they are the worst offender. They are the worst offender in demarcating Nigeria. Because how can you not tell your people the truth so that they will know how to even defend the country if you need to be? You will lie to us. And later you now recant it. So what should I be doing as a Nigerian? No, tell me, what should I be doing as a Nigerian when I cannot get the real facts from my government? Now that the whole thing has escalated, is it not damage control that they are not doing? How can the people now side with the government in this matter after you have lied to everybody?
Well, interestingly, Barrister, under previous administrations, similar cross-border frictions were quietly resolved with ECOWAS. And of course, under this present administration, we've not seen anything of such.
Anything, yes. Under their watch, the ECOWAS are now scattered.
Should we say Nigeria has lost her respect, particularly on leveraging on what it once was as the big brother in West Africa?
When you say lost our respect, is an understatement. We have dropped the ball on all fronts, economically, politically, militarily. Anywhere you can look at it, Nigeria have dropped the ball. And that is why we are getting this embarrassment and insult from Burkina Faso. That is why we are getting this insult from small Burkina Faso. That's what happens when you refuse to do the needful, when you refuse to take responsibility, when you refuse to do the needful, the right thing at the right time. This is what Nigeria is suffering today because of bad leadership at home. So, when you have refused to do what you're supposed to do, this is what comes out with it. Nigerian government is, in fact, I don't know how to describe it. Seriously, if you are a Nigerian, there should be some shame on your face because of what Burkina Faso is doing to us now, a small country. I expected the Supreme Court to be explicit in some of these things, knowing fully well the implications of what they are saying. For example, this particular section 3005. Yes, state of emergency. You know, it is not enough to say the president have the right to declare state of emergency. But there are conditions precedent for him to do so. Is that not true? That is why it was clearly stated. In the judgment, it said validly. Validly, when something is valid. That means due process has been followed before you cannot declare state of emergency. But from what the Supreme Court is saying now, it looks like they are just saying that the president can wake up and declare state of emergency anywhere and then suspend anybody he likes.
But Barrister, you know that the president have a high level of intelligence with him. the president have a high level of intelligence with him that sometimes or most times this is being supplied by the NSA and all that. Now, Barrister, when you talk about what the Supreme Court said yesterday, it state that the president can do that when there is a breakdown of law and order, or maybe anarchy and all that chaos, to be precise. And I don't think that, you know, that was what played out, not just within this present administration, but recall what played out when Obasanjo was the president of Nigeria and the killings in Plateau State that made him to declare state of emergency in Plateau. And what is playing out with the back and forth between the governor of Rivers State as well as the State House of Assembly, to the point that, you know, there were threats for impeachment and even other things that came up that made the president to swiftly move in to declare state of emergency and also appoint retired Boketa Ibas, Vice Admiral, to be the sole administrator.
Now, please, I want to ask you a question here. What happened in Rivers that caused the state of emergency? And what is going on now, today, in the entire northern region? Which one is what? And which one elicits a state of emergency? Can you see the contradiction? Breakdown of law and order. Did any law break down in Rivers State? The problem that happened in Rivers that brought about state of emergency, and this one that is happening in North now, that even at the point, the entire northern region said that, look, they need the state of emergency here, yet nobody declared it. Which one is worse? And which one would you say that actually need the state of emergency? You can see that the president abused that power in the case of Rivers State.
So, Barrister, how do we stop a powerful president who, of course, declares state of emergency, breakdown of law and order every time an opposition is refusing orders from Abuja?
It is to start what? Impeachment proceedings against him. That's the only alternative, nothing else. To tell him that what you did is outside your powers. In the first place, before you can even do that, that is why that word validly was included in the judgment of the Supreme Court. Validly, when something is valid. The state governor must invite you in the case of a state that is having problem. Then the state assembly, 2/3 of them must approve it. That we need the state of, before you can even now act on those things.
Exactly, Barrister, during that court judgment, also the Supreme Court also, you know, they spoke against the voice vote, which the National Assembly subjected us to.
Exactly.
You know, saying the way and manner in which it happened shouldn't be. But we were expecting, or Nigerians were expecting, a clear-cut injunction that will make it easy or, you know, more like admissible to Nigerians to know when people are defaulting. But he just ended it on, we against, or we faulted the way and manner in which the National Assembly carried out this. It shouldn't be placed on voice vote, but individual vote is what it should be subjected to. Nothing else happened. So how do we find a way to ameliorate such if something like that is to repeat itself?
That is, you know, where this might is right, is what is playing out here. APC believe that they are in the majority and nothing can happen. If not, these are reasons anybody could start the impeachment proceedings against the president, because he violated our laws. But being APC members in the House, how can they impeach their president? That is the issue here. For you to even approve, you are going to do, that is personal conviction, and that means you must come out, declare your constituency, say where you're from, and that you append your signature to this state of emergency. Let people know, not a voice note, because anybody can say anywhere and shout hey, and they say the aides have it. Is that not what happened? So everything they did about that state of emergency is a no for me. You can't just declare state of emergency where the
governor will have to call for help.
Exactly. That is the beginning of the whole thing. Before even the National Assembly will come in, the State Assembly and the governor had to wade in and say, look, we need help here. Did anybody invite him in Rivers State? Did anybody? Please tell me. Did anybody? Look, people don't know where we are going. You don't know until this thing happened. Then everybody's eye will not.
No, this Supreme Court interpretation, does it look like
it has left little to
does it look like the Attorney General of the Federation doesn't know all these provisions of the Constitution?
He knows.
And he advised, more like he'll advise the president.
He knows, but what can he do when they put the two offices together, Attorney General and Minister of Justice?
But my position in all of this is this: now, for a president to before we get to a point where a president has been called in or he validly declares a state of emergency, what it means is that the institutions of government have failed the people. Yes. And they are more like a gradual descent to anarchy, where there is total breakdown of law and order. Now, my question and my position is this. If a state of emergency is declared, resulting from the failure of institutions of governance, which is the office of the governor and that of the legislature, the state house of assembly, if it declares a state of emergency, to what end what will the governor be doing there?
He will be suspended. He will stay at home for the period. If he has no job, he doesn't have any job within that period. Because he failed in his responsibility ab initio. That was all led to the declaration of the state of emergency. So he should remain at home.
Yes.
Okay. Now that it happened to Fubara and they forced him to port into APC, do you think it is only Fubara that they've given you such treatment? Because he succeeded in Rivers, you think he do not succeed elsewhere?